And I remember it vividly, like seriously. So there's like a screen here and a screen here, and the only
Yeah.
words that I knew was "I keep on falling." Like literally, that was like the only thing I knew. So the verse, I would just stand there and not do anything. But every time the chorus hit, I sang it like my life was depending on it. And my
Oh.
dad said that since then he knew that I would do it just because I was just so confident, and I just loved to sing at such a young age, and he just knew from that on.
Hey, what up, yo? You already know what time it is, baby. Conversation really starts time. So, welcome to the show. I appreciate you guys for checking us out. I appreciate you for all the support you have been showing us. It's been amazing. It's been great. So, like, yeah, today ain't no different. We got a star in the building. You already know how it goes, baby. So, from that, we're crossing the borders. We jump into Minneapolis, and we got a very, very talented singer. Like, I didn't know she could rap until I had to dig in, and I realized that, oh, damn, she's dope. She's got some bars as well. So, like, I was like super impressed. And when I got deeper, homie, it gets even interesting. So I understood that it's only better that we can let her come to the show and let her tell the story, because who tells it better than the host itself? So right now, she's just got in. I'm just gonna invite her and we start the interview without wasting any time. With you one and only Uncle Black. What up? If y'all got questions for Kelese, come on, put them on. If y'all got anything you want to ask her, shout out. As long as it's respectful, though, like, cause we ain't doing that crazy stuff. If y'all showing some respect, we ain't getting.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. First of all, I had a big problem pronouncing your name. Like,
It's
I
Kelese.
had, I thought it was Kellis.
No, I'm so used to it being said wrong, though. I don't even try to correct people anymore, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I like that. How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay?
I am good. It's a good Sunday. I love Sundays. They're like my favorite day of the week. So it's always so chill.
Why?
Because I feel like Sundays are like a reset for like all that happened last week and for what's about to happen next week. Like I just like to take the day to chill and think about the week I had and the week I'm about to have, and all that I did wrong in the last week, or things I need to improve and how I'm going to improve them for next week. You always have to be a better person than you were last week, or yesterday, really.
It means like you probably do a lot of like you write a lot in your journal, like you plan a lot.
I don't. I'm a terrible planner. Like I've been so used to my life just kind of going with the flow. So, but lately I have been like learning more to, write things down cuz I have a terrible memory. Like I have a terrible memory. So, and I would always forget things all the time, and I'd be like, "Oh shoot, I forgot to do this," or I forgot I had a whole appointment or something. So, that's something that I'm definitely getting way better at, though, because I was
Wait,
terrible.
you would forget an appointment?
Huh?
You said you would forget an appointment?
Yeah, like I had a facial appointment. I totally missed it because my scheduling was just messed up. It was a crazy week.
No. You need some vaccine. You need some vaccine for that. Like, what on your name? What does it mean?
What does what mean?
Your name?
I don't know. I was named after the original singer. You know, my milkshake bring out a voice to the yard and then right. So she had a like, I hate
Yeah.
you right now. She's like, I hate you right now. Well, my dad said he named me. My mom said she named me. I don't know who telling the truth. All I know is that they named me that, and I know for a fact it was based off her though, because they both said that it was based off her.
Alright, they claiming your name. They all claiming your name. Alright.
Yeah, but I have no idea. You know, I just take what they each said and just kind of made my own conclusion. You know.
So what do you think so far?
What do I think? I think there's some truth to both of what they're saying. You know. It's just like, but every story, you know, like there's two sides to every story. So, you know, I just take everything and just be like, okay.
Yeah, you just get it, like you just flow with it. So are you signed or independent?
I'm independent. I'm signed to management, but I'm not signed to any labels, nor am I really rushing to sign to labels either. You know, I like things to happen organically, you know, because I feel like the faster you're in is the faster that you'll be out, you know, here
Yeah.
today, gone tomorrow. So, you know, I'm not really pressed about being signed right now or having, you know, like $1 million contract right now, because there's just so much that goes into that you really have to like how you really have to be like that person or
Straight up all the time. So were you born in Minneapolis or did you move there like lately?
no, so I was born and raised here. I was born in Minneapolis. I lived there till about third grade, and then I actually moved to like a rural town called Cambridge. There's like no black people, but now there actually is more black people. I was just up there and I actually seen black people walking around. I said, wow, like this is different. Back in my day, I was like the only black kid in school, and now there's like a lot of black kids in school. So it's nice to like see it diversify, but at the same time, it was a really racist town. I hated it. I really hated
So
it.
so wait, would you experience some racism in there?
Of course, yes. I would literally get dress coded for wearing spaghetti straps, but a dude had a Confederate flag overalls on like every day. It would never get in trouble, and I had death threats at that school. It was terrible. But at the same
Death.
time, I wouldn't change the experience because it's made me who I am now. So,
Wow. So how would you deal with it back then? Like how would you face that?
mostly high school was like a lot of when stuff happened. A lot of people just didn't like me to not like me. I mean, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have liked me in high school either. So I don't blame some people, but at the same time, it was just terrible. The teachers were terrible. It was just terrible all
Damn.
around.
I wonder if I could take that. It was like, yo,
Yeah, would not
it's
recommend.
it's something else. So like, uh, give me like a typical day, like in Minneapolis, like your childhood typical day.
What was the last thing that you said?
Like you've been like experiencing a lot of racism and stuff, right? So like, give me a typical day, like of your childhood. How would it be?
Um, the racism here is different because it's not necessarily like they're not really flat out about it here. Like they're more secretive. Um, where like they'll low key be racist in like a low key way. But actually our state's pretty blue and our state is pretty liberal. The only spots that are like really just OD are like in the rural towns, you know, like where like there's more like poverty. Um, you know, small towns where all the farms are. That's like definitely where the racism, but in Minneapolis, it's really not bad. The people here are pretty nice, you know, except for our cops, you know, that's a whole other thing. But I feel like it's actually a pretty nice state for the most part.
One thing, like, like when I'm interviewing a person, I kind of do a research about how like the city is and stuff like that. So like
Hmm.
one thing I found, I was like, there's a lot of crime in there. Like what? What?
No, there's crime everywhere. There is crime everywhere. You will never escape crime. You can be in Jamaica and get robbed in your 4 5-star hotel. You can be in the slums and get robbed. Rich areas get robbed. Like there's crime everywhere, and I just feel like throughout the whole trials and everything too, like it hasn't been this. I mean, it may look like a war zone on TV, and we did have like the National Guard was posted here, but they didn't bother anybody. Like it wasn't this whole war zone. The city's on fire. Like it's been pretty
Mm.
peaceful here for the most part. It's been peaceful protests. Like it hasn't been what they're trying to have it seem, for sure.
Uh, oh, like so they just trying to make it look like it's West, but it ain't like
Yeah,
really. So like how do you get into the music industry? Where do you get the interest?
my dad, for sure. He's had a very big part of me being who I am musically. He's how I learned how to engineer my own music. Like, and everything that I've learned from him. So I definitely give him the big ups. And he's showed me him and my mom both were like 90s neo soul R&B heads. So collectively, they both had a very big part of my influencers as my music, but my dad played a very big part in like the act of me making music, for sure.
That's very dope. Like like when your parents are on the same side with you,
Mhm.
you got it all. I, so you yourself, like how did you know that I am talented? How did you figure that out?
My dad always tells a story about how when I was 5 years old, um, we have like a lot of fairs here in the summer, and I think we were at the Blaine Fair, and it's like a suburb kind of outside of the city, but it's still very much populated, so it's a pretty big fair. And they had a karaoke stage, and I was like 5. I had to be like 5 or 6. I was like, Dad, I'm about to go up there and sing. And he was like, Are you sure? Because there's a lot of people here. And I was like, Yeah, I got it, Dad. Just just imagine me being this little kid with all this
Yeah.
confidence. So I go on stage and I sing Alicia Keys' I Keep on Falling. And I remember it vividly, like seriously. So there's like a screen here and a screen here, and the only
Yeah.
words that I knew was "I keep on falling." Like literally, that was like the only thing I knew. So the verse, I would just stand there and not do anything. But every time the chorus hit, I sang it like my life was depending on it. And my
Oh.
dad said that since then he knew that I would do it just because I was just so confident, and I just loved to sing at such a young age, and he just knew from that on.
Oh. Wow. That's a whole different level of confidence. Like, yo, yo,
It's
big up to
amazing
them.
as kids the confidence that you have, because the more naive that you are and the more that you don't know and the more that people don't put you down is the most confidence that we have are when we're kids, like we're so pure, and then this world just wants to tear you down.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
get
I feel
older.
you. Yeah. That's how it is. Though. That's how it is. But I forgot. Like, can you play your music in the background, like while we edit?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
I didn't
please
just
do
want it to
that.
conflict with like, us talking.
No,
That's the
just keep it down. Like, yeah, yeah. You can just keep it down. So your father like was cool with you when you said like, "Yo, pops, uh, I'm stepping out of school. I'm gonna do music."
um So I left school on a medical leave, surprisingly, and I had a choice. I could go back or I could have just did music. And I don't know why. I just felt like I just couldn't go back to school. Like I just was like, I'm still young. If things go wrong, I can always go back to school.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm gonna just do it. So that's just kind of what made me push to like actually do music.
And like he was cool with it. He just supported you all the way.
My dad, for sure. I had a little pushback from my mother, but moms are just like that. Moms always want you to go to school and get married and have kids, do things how it has been forever.
I want to understand something like how do you actually get to this decision? Because like you're a student, right? And like you making music, like
hmm
what is this thing that makes you want to say like I want to drop out? Is it like are you starting to slack in the books, or are you having some gigs that you failing to attend? Like why?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry. I was trying to like listen to what you were saying.
All right, cool. So like for you to come up with that decision, right? Like
hmm
were you slacking at school, or were you having too many gigs where you cannot juggle the both? Like why did you have to come up to that decision?
I had surgery, so it was like I had to leave
Oh.
school, but I just didn't know if I was gonna go back or not. After it all happened. But I feel like the choice it wasn't really that hard. I was just like, I'm just about to do it for sure.
I understand that. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a very bold reason. Yeah. So how beneficial is that decision? Like how has it helped you in any way? Like you dropping out?
No, I feel like that was the best choice that I've made for sure. I feel like I wouldn't be who I am and what I do now if I didn't make that choice. Like that choice was like a choice that like leads me into like another life, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I know that you're tough. You're like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So like with the support you got from your parents, what would you want to say to them, especially your dad?
With my with the support of my parents, what?
What would you want to say to them? Like,
What do I want to say to my parents?
yeah, what would you want to say to them? Like with or after all the support they've given you?
Um, I don't know. The dynamic with my parents are so different. And I'm like a really deep thinker slash I like to really have deep conversations. So I feel like both of how I would thank them and talk to them would be totally different between each parent because they're so different.
Yeah, I understand and respect that. Like, so like since then, how many projects do you have? Like, cause I know three.
How many? What do I have?
How many projects do you have?
Oh goodness. I series. So there's four. I only have four projects, but I have a lot of singles that I've dropped too. So combination of those, I have a lot. But I also have a lot that I have in the vault still and a lot that I'm making. So I just feel like I'm constantly making music. So I just have so many. But I hope to be dropping another EP soon. So maybe you guys should be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I will be on the lookout straight up because like we caught up, we got caught.
hmm
So like your previous projects, how were they received? Like how did the people find them?
How did the people find my projects?
Yeah, the previous ones. How was the
Um,
response?
I kind of feel like people find my music just word of mouth or it being shared or um I feel like that's how most people's music get, out there. It's just by words to mouth, advertising, just stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand that. And then you have this round trip sessions, right?
Hmm.
Why that name? What inspired that?
Round trip, because I stay on a round trip flight. Like, I was round trip to where I am to Atlanta, back to where I am to Atlanta. So we just said round trip because it just fit like the mood of the whole project, because like all those songs were made either here or there, and I feel like I've made so we brought them together, which made round trip, and I was really excited to drop all that music. I was ready.
Why did you drop them in sessions
Hmm?
instead of like why did you drop them in sessions instead of like making one compilation
Um, why did I make it into 4 installments?
in sessions instead of dropping one compilation?
Because I feel like I like EPs more than albums, especially nowadays, because everybody's attention frame is like 2 seconds. And I feel like albums are, I hope not, because I really enjoy a good album. But sometimes I feel like maybe they might be a thing of the past, having smaller installments instead of just one big Chris Brown 50-song albums. People just get bored really easily. So
Yeah, I think so.
I try to appease not my fans, but my supporters and those that really love me and my music, for sure.
Why don't you want to say your fans?
Hmm?
Why don't you want to say your fans?
Cause I hate the word fan. I hate the word fans because if it's me, like, I ain't a fan of nobody, but I'll support somebody. Like, I
Ooh.
feel like, I don't know, I feel like when I get more larger, even, I'm not even about to say fans still. I think I'll still say supporters because I just hate the word fans, to be honest.
Yeah, because the name is kind of awkward. It's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, we're all human. Some just have a little bit more bread than others, and some are just a little bit known than others. But regardless, we all have the same judgment day, and we're all humans. So at the end of the day, I don't idolize anybody.
So
So that's why I'm not calling anybody a fan.
speaking about that, like who do you like? Who do you like? Who do you look up to in
Who do I
terms of
look up
music?
to?
In terms of music.
Erykah Badu, Jay Dilla, Maxwell, Jill Scott. I love, like, just neo soul in general. It's just an amazing genre, and jazz too. But I feel like that's kind of a part, like, it's kind of jazzy by like the chords that they play. That's more jazzy chords, so it's kind of mixed together. It's just kind of like a subcategory of jazz, but regardless, it's definitely like those type of artists for sure.
I understand because like one can tell by the taste of your music, like even your
Hmm.
slow, like yo. Speaking about that, you produced that, like yo.
Did I produce what?
You produce your beats, like
Yeah, I do
damn,
sometimes. I definitely.
damn. It's funny because like you mentioned that you was once a lost puppy. Now you're writing everything. You even writing raps and you even producing for yourself.
Hmm.
Oh,
I like to do everything. Well, I equally like to collab too, though, because sometimes I just be stuck and I just do not be knowing what to do or how to feel. So I feel like when I'm alone, though, nobody can hear what's in my head. I can only hear what's in my head. So trying to tell somebody to embody what I have in my head is kind of hard because they can't read my mind. So I just started to learn everything because I wanted to have control of what I had in my head, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Because like sometimes like you don't get the beat you want. You wanna like you can produce yourself. You don't get the beat you want all the time. Like you try not to explain to a producer like, "Yo, bruh, I need you to do something like this." They do that, but that's not what you want. Like just close to that. I
Happens all the
understand
time.
that.
And like I'm like too nice of a person, but I'm actually working on that now, but I should say I was too nice of a person because I'm working on it, and I would hate something and just be like, "Oh yeah, this sounds cool," because I'd be like too scared to like hurt their feelings, you know? But now, you know, but what are feelings, you know?
I, I feel you. Yeah, there's a question down there. Yeah, she said she's
Mhm.
an engineer. Yeah, she said that. She said that. She said that.
Yes, I do engineer my own music too because I hate waiting on people. I hate not being able to do like what I want in the time frame that I want to do it because you know like you got to pay per hour, and I'm kind of a slow recorder, so um, the money just be racking up. It really
But like,
do.
that's a dope way. Like that's a dope way of viewing it. So like, um, what is one thing that like defines you? Like, why should people wait for your next project? Why should they wait for your next project?
You said what's the thing that defines me and what else?
Why should people wait for your next project if they had the previous ones?
People should wait for my next project because I reinvent every single time. I feel like each day I grow vocally, I grow mentally, I grow writing wise, I just grow every day. I literally feel it. So I feel like each time I'm gonna drop, it's gonna be something new. It's it'll be more of who I am too. The more that I know who I am, and the more that I learn, and the more that I feel and experience, it's just gonna get. I just top myself every time. So
Uh,
and two, I love dropping music. I love showcasing music that I make. There's nothing better than after you just wrote a song and it's just so good. That's like the best feeling. Like you just feel so good about yourself. Like that's a drug. It really is.
that's what you're chasing all the time.
Mhm.
And I believe you feel that a lot because like a lot of your songs are like bananas.
Mhm.
And one of my favorites is like lately in round trip the first session like lately it's
You like lately?
not too bad, not too bad.
I wrote that song. It was raining in Atlanta. I actually wrote that song in Atlanta and it was raining. And you know, I be in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie, you know? Like just gonna be in your
Oh, look at that.
feelings all the time because you're a singer. You sing about bringing your feelings, you know?
Yeah, that's what we want, your feelings, because that's how people get to relate to you. So
Mhm.
in one of your interviews you said like you are a hopeless romantic, but like
I
that's
am.
something I never would have thought of something like that. Like I thought like pretty years have it all. Like I thought like they have it all, but like you mentioned something that's very intriguing. Like
Mhm.
now you
Um,
have like
huh?
when I say something.
No.
Alright, so like I'm surprised that it can be a struggle to be pretty. Like I never thought of that. I never thought of that.
There is a pretty privilege, but there is a pretty struggle too. Because you're always surrounded by men who want you by the idea of you, but they don't want you for you. If that makes sense, like they get
Yeah,
to know you and
yeah.
they're like, you're not what you thought I was because you're pretty. Like when you're pretty, people already think, oh, she's stuck up, or oh, she's just light skinned. She's just gonna act like she don't know nobody, or she's probably not Hollywood or a certain way. But I feel like just as much as it's a struggle, it's also a privilege too. So I can't ever ignore the privilege of, looks. But it's a blessing and a curse for sure.
Yeah. Uh, Wow. This, wow. I understand that, but I never would have thought about that. So, like, are you dating now?
Huh?
Are you dating now?
Am I dating now? I'm just going with the flow, Like I'm not really even focused on that right now. I'm just trying to work and just do what I gotta do, honestly. So I mean, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I'll be perfectly fine. Me and my live our happy lives together.
I I can't take anything from that. Like, I respect that. I respect that. I
Yeah.
got yeah. Speaking on that, like you making some slow paced music, like it's soulful, more soothing, more for like people who are chill. Have you ever thought like that would be a challenge in the market? Cause like people, it's kind of like the whole world is depressed now. Everybody just wanna dance. Like, is that challenging?
Um. Hello.
Oh snap! Look at that network. Oh, you back? You back?
Are we back?
Yeah, back. You back.
Okay. Are you asking me if it's hard to make happier music, or are you asking me have I made more upbeat music?
No, I'm asking you like if it's challenging for you like to be a soulful singer. Like, do you get the challenge in the market where people want more upbeat sound? Like, they don't get to pay attention to the slow music.
Um, no, I don't think it's a challenge at all. I'm a soulful old soul. I'm definitely an old soul, so I don't find it very challenging at all. If anything, I feel it's more challenging to make the music nowadays because it's so unseasoned. It's bland. It has no heart. There's no message in the music. Um, I feel like that's harder to not feel anything than to really feel, for sure.
I I feel you like you throwing shades to the new school now.
Huh?
You throwing shades to the new school now. Like
Oh Lord.
looking back at your career, like what is your biggest achievement so far?
You're asking what?
What's your biggest achievement so far?
What's the biggest event so far?
Achievement.
Let me turn down this music. I'm trying to hear it, and I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi, but it keeps chopping up a little bit here.
Yeah,
What you
I
asking?
see. What's your greatest achievement so far?
Achievement. Hmm. This is kind of a hard question because I kind of view all of my achievements equal. If that makes sense, an achievement is an achievement, no matter how big or small. So I feel like my happiest, uh, my happiest achievement is definitely when I
Oh
had my
God.
first show. because my first show was definitely an experience that made me realize that I really wanted to do music. And I feel like that achievement had really helped molded my want for music. So I definitely feel like that's the best one. Like there's no better feeling than after you just had a show and you hop off stage and everybody's cheering for you and the crowd's going crazy. Encore, Kelese, Kelese. Oh. Like there's no better feeling at
So
all.
everybody's screaming Kelese.
Mhm.
So what's your writing process?
My writing process,
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of terrible, but I do write a lot of music in the car. I definitely do write a lot of music driving, which is terrible. But for some reason, when I'm in the car, the juices just get to flowing. So I definitely write
Wait,
a lot. Hmm?
did you say driving?
Yeah, but you know, I'm not texting. I'll like talk to the phone, like what I want the
Oh, you have
title, right?
smartphone.
So I'm not like texting, but I'm like talking to the phone, like what I'm singing.
Wow, but speed, like, yo,
I
the
know
level
it's
of
it's so weird, but I wrote crazy driving in like 2 seconds.
you're, you're amazing. Like, wow.
I'm not texting and driving though. Let's just clear that up right now.
I get you. So, as like, you have only one video so far, right?
Mhm.
You have like only one music video so far.
One official one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I saw you all dancing in there. Like, who was the choreographer?
Her name was Sierra. She's actually from here too. And she's so good. I'm definitely about to like come to her for, you know, a lot of those type of things. I'm a really fast learner, so I learned it pretty quick and she's a good teacher too. So it wasn't that hard to learn it at all.
Aye, that's dope. That's dope. Cause I believe they go through a lot of trouble trying to teach people how to dance. Imagine trying to teach me. I have two left legs. Like, yo.
I was in dance as a kid too. Like I think I did jazz and hip hop. Yeah.
You always been soulful, nah? Wow.
Jazz was just like something easy because it wasn't like a lot of movement. So I was just like, let me do that, okay? And then hip hop was terrible. It was two white ladies trying to teach us hip hop. It was just a mess. Like it was a mess. But I'll never forget that whole experience though, for sure.
Mm. Yes, that's worse. That's worse. Mm. So, like, dating back to your music, what's your favorite song from yourself? Since you've started, what's your favorite song from?
I don't have a favorite song because I like a lot of them. The thing about
Mm.
me is that you'll learn is that I don't really have a favorite of anything because I like so many different things and so many different people that I don't really have a favorite except for color. My favorite color is purple, but I don't really have a favorite food. I love food. I don't really have a favorite genre. I love music. I don't really have a favorite song because I like a lot of my songs. So I'll give you top two,
Wow,
maybe.
wow.
Top two, I definitely love Fake. I loved making that song for sure. Hmm.
You have the experience like making it actually. That's why it's on the top.
Yeah, yeah. I think the experience of making the song also changes my opinion on it. But I also really like Peterlude too, because that was a really fun song to also make too. And it just flowed. I was really excited when that song was done because I really liked it.
Alright, alright. I understand. It's a good song though. I understand. So, what other talents do you have like besides music?
Well, I can't paint. I can't draw.
Do you have anything with you?
Huh?
Do you have anything with you can show us?
Oh, show with my music. I couldn't hear you. All of my stuff is on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. You go to Kelese, you'll find everything. Is that what you asked?
Oh, no, but like, yeah, we were going there.
What
I
was
was saying,
the
like,
question that
what
you asked?
what other talents do you have?
Talents. Yes. Okay. I thought that's what you asked the first time. I can't draw, paint, or do anything like that. Talents. I don't know. I have so many. I don't know. I have so many other things that I can do. Like there's not a lot that I cannot do. If that makes sense. So I feel like I have a lot of many talents.
Oh,
Like
jack of all trades.
hmm?
Jack of all trades.
Like I used to be really good at track. I was really athletic as a kid. I was really talented in that. I'm really talented in like this might sound weird, but I'm really talented in training dogs too. I can train dogs really well too.
How
I
did
know
you
it
figure
sounds
that one
weird,
out?
but huh?
How did you figure that one out?
I actually have my own dog, and after I trained him, like I realized, like, wow, I'm actually really good at training dogs.
No, no, you can't train one and say that.
I've trained friends' dogs too, though, because
Ah.
you know, like he's so well behaved. Like, I need your help, and I'd be like, okay, like let's just see if it works, and it actually works. I'm actually kind of good at training dogs. I learned. That's kind of funny.
Wow, wow, you're amazing. Yo.
But I don't know if I'm gonna be good with the dog that's aggressive. But command training and stuff and like walking and stuff like that, I'm good at. But I don't know about if a dog about to be biting me. I don't know. I don't
Right,
know
they
about
might
that
just
one.
love you. They might just love you. I see you can rap too. I
I
was like,
can.
what? What?
I can. I love rap, but I don't like rap of today now's rap. I definitely don't like that, but I definitely like rapping. I write like I rap. I write in chunks of 4 bars, which I never knew that until I met other rappers and they're like, you write like you're a rapper, and I'm like, oh, I just write like that. But I guess whole time rap is, you know.
Wow. Wow, like, so amazing. So, like, with all these talents, why did you choose music?
When you're called to do something, I mean, you know, you're called to do. I mean, I just know that I'm here to shake things up a little bit. You know, like I feel like there are certain people on this earth who were born to, you know, kind of shake things up and change the narrative of certain things to kind of try to bring some sort of balance to the world. And I definitely feel like that's what I was called to do. So it wasn't a hard choice at all.
Just brave and bold and straight to the point. Yo, what's the most generous thing someone has done to you, like an industry person?
What's the most what that somebody has done?
Generous. The most generous thing someone has done to you in the
Jealous.
generous.
Generous.
in the industry?
In the industry, a lot of people have welcomed me with open arms. And in the industry, in my eyes, that's really generous because it's really cutthroat and people really look for themselves more than anyone else. And for people to welcome me in their studios and to, allow me to record there and to not have to worry about if I'm ever going to be able to record again, just welcoming me with arms that were just warm and helping me throughout all of this, because that's really important. The whole industry, there's just so much to it, and you're young and you don't know and you mess up, and it's definitely a learning experience for sure. So the fact that people were willing to work with me is pretty generous in my eyes.
Wow, I like that because like people would have said something else like yeah,
It's a
check
real
out, check.
selfish world out here. So if you find somebody who's generous, it's very uncommon for sure.
Alright, we about to release it right now, so like I want to ask you something off the topic. What's the funniest pickup line you've ever heard?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I don't... Men say a lot of weird shit to me all the time. They're all weird. I don't know. They're all weird, but I would probably say, like, I've had a dude say, like, well, it's not really a pickup line, but I did have a guy say that he wanted to drink my pee once. But it wasn't a pickup line.
What?
But yeah,
What?
not a lot of guys say pickup lines anymore. They're just really direct with what they want.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
think men really use pickup lines anymore.
you said dude said what?
He wanted to drink my pee. That was the weirdest thing anybody has said to me. And that's really weird. on some R. Kelly shit, and that's some real interesting behavior.
You're the female version of Kelese.
He definitely got blocked after that.
Yeah, man. What are you currently working on?
Huh?
What are you currently working on? A project that's coming soon?
Yes. So I'm actually on some visuals. I am working on new projects, but there isn't an ETA on when those will be dropped soon. But with me, I'm always full of surprises. One day I might drop a song, So I feel like there's not an ETA on really what I'm working on, but I will say that I am known for dropping a song the same day and not telling anybody. So always be on the lookout. Always. Because you never know.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So like, what other thing that's surprising me? You and your manager are not in the same city. Like, what are the negatives and positives from that?
Huh?
You and your manager, you're not in the same city, right?
Oh yeah, she's actually from here too. Actually, I have two of them. Both of my managers are actually from here too, but they don't live here, but they are from here. So.
Alright. So like, does it ever like disadvantage you for it being like kind of far?
Is it an advantage?
Does it ever actually what are the advantages and disadvantages of her being like in a different city?
Well, now that there's technology, it's not really too much of a disadvantage anymore. Well, but at the same time, it would be nice for them to actually, be in the same state or city, like if you had a shoot and you had to link up instead of being on FaceTime, you know, they'll actually be there. I'm more of an in-person type of person. I'm not really a over the phone type of person. So, sorry. I would definitely like it to be in the same city too, because I just like doing things in person. But at the same time, I don't really care. It does the same thing. So.
I understand that. So like I appreciate you like coming through to the show. Like thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Like my girlfriend's gonna make a whole lot of noise about this because you pretty. She's gonna tell me the whole week. That girl is pretty.
Thank you.
Alright man, stay safe. Let me release you.
Huh?
Let me release you. Alright.
You use me?
Let me release you.
Uh okay.
Cool.
I'm weak.
Right. Yo. Shout out to you for checking out the show, yo. Like it's been amazing. You done had some crazy time. Yeah, Hellcats is going crazy, right? Yeah, I ain't about to say much, man. So like, yeah, we'll catch y'all next time on the next episode of Conversation with the Stars, baby. With your all and only Uncle Black. Yeah, we out. Follow the boy and get more artists. We out.